everybody. Bruchim Aboyim, driving around in Amish country, in a veritable Amish paradise here. If Weird Al wouldn't say so himself, without the approval of Coolio. So anyway, I was away for work. We had the 3-day. Oh no, I should leave this on so I can hear. We had a 3-day training. I'm a head chaplain at a state prison. I guess you can guess which state, considering what we're dealing with.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Oakview Road.
So anyway, this looks like a prison. No, it's some kind of
Turn left onto Oakview Road, then turn right onto US 30 West.
So we had our training, and it was very interesting. And what's a very nice thing about the training is that I get a free hotel, and a free car, free hotel. Now the car only I can drive in, but at least the hotel is free. So my wife and the kids were able to join me. So they're right behind me, in the car behind me. And the training lasted until about 11 o'clock this morning. So now we were able to do a lot of fun things. So I posted a little earlier.
Take the next right onto US 30 West, then slight right onto the US 30 West ramp.
We went to a Mennonite museum where they had a full-scale model of the Mishkan, of the Tabernacle. And which we had seen a similar exhibit, a traveling exhibit many years ago, well over a decade ago, maybe close to 13 years ago, when I was a Rav in Richmond. I got an email or a letter or something about this program. Again, it was a Christian program, but so my wife and I, we went and we saw that, and it was very nice. My wife always said, and one thing my wife said was, we had a Korean tour guide. So I don't know if it was a man or a woman. I think it was a man and a woman together. They were Korean, maybe 2 Korean tour guides. So their English wasn't so good, so we couldn't hear all the stuff they said about Yashka. And then my wife heard about this one. She said maybe it'll be interesting for the kids to see this. So because she said it really helped her kavana on Yom Kippur when we read the Avodah. When you actually can see something full size. This was, I think, a lot more scaled back than the one that we had seen that was presented in Virginia. But nonetheless, it was a very interesting program, and it's stationary, and it's excuse me, a permanent exhibit.
Slight right onto the US 30 West ramp, then continue on to US 30 West.
And it was very nice. And one thing was interesting because at the training I went to, so I mentioned to the religious services administrator for the whole state.
Continue on US 30 West for 5 miles.
That we were going to visit the Tabernacle exhibit that's at the Mennonite Museum, and he himself, he's a Mennonite, very liberal Mennonite, and he said, you might not be so comfortable because they mentioned, Oysa Ish. Actually, for a Christian program like that, it was fairly toned down. It was, there was only one brief mention at the end, and it was Christological, but not offensive. And also, I'll tell you one thing: they were very politically correct. I had never heard this before because, one thing we Jews are offended. I don't like to get offended so much, but I think this is worthy to get offended. Is that Christians call our Bible, which we believe to be the real Bible for us, usually most Christians call it the Old Testament. But in this museum, I don't know if that's a typical thing in Mennonite traditions, or instead of calling it the Old Testament, they call it the First Testament for Christians, and then the stuff that they added they call the Second. Still, obviously we don't accept them as first or second. We're pretty exclusive in the covenants. There's only, there is an idea of the Noahide covenant and the Mosaic covenant. That's to us would be a first covenant, a second covenant. Really, Rambam says really there's the Adamic covenant followed by the Noahide covenant and the Mosaic covenant. Right? Well, and then the Abrahamic covenant and the Mosaic covenant. It's really the four covenants, four Bristol that we have, or testaments. The word testament actually is related to the word bris because there's a part of the body that has the name is very similar to testament. That's near the place where the sign of the Abrahamic bris is marked on the body, which is really not only Abrahamic, it's Mosaic as well, because it's in Leviticus, it's repeated, and right under that organ is another organ that's related to it. So that's really where the word testament comes from. People don't realize. Anyway, and that's actual etymology. I'm not just being rude or lewd or anything. I'm just teaching a little English class, I guess. So anyway, whether the word bris really just means any covenant. We were talking about that the other day, how upset I was about how people are made for Bristol Yishalaf from Avinu. Ein lo chelik lo mabo. Right, Chazal say, made for Bristol Yishalaf from Avinu, Ein lo chelik lo mabo. So it's a hard zach. Anyway, so we saw that museum, and it was actually very nice, and of course most of it was something that anyone of any religion could appreciate. And there was a little exhibit also of other parts of the Mennonite and Anabaptist tradition. I learned something new. I always assumed that all Anabaptists insisted on, they were dunkers,
in half a mile,
right?
keep right at the fork to stay on US 30 West.
That they insisted on a full immersion. And actually, it's not insisted upon, and actually the original Mennonite tradition was to have the pouring baptism, because Menno Simmons,
keep right at the fork to stay on US 30 West,
was a Catholic priest, right, who had abandoned
continue
Catholicism,
on US 30 West for 4 miles,
and yet he still had that one tradition of the pouring baptism. My understanding, though, is that the Eastern Orthodox churches, they have full immersion. The sprinkling. This is more pouring, so it's more water than you would see in a Catholic baptism. But not as much water as in a Baptist baptism. Anyway, back to what we were discussing. So the next thing we did after that, we went to a park. The kids had a lot of fun, and now we're heading to a place called That Pet Place, That Fish Place, or That Fish Place, That Pet Place. It's also in Lancaster County, and I've heard a lot about this place. I actually heard about it from inmates at the jail. They said, that if you're in that area and you like animals and reptiles, especially, because I had mentioned another pet shop that we visited. I had some videos on the channel called CDE in Wilkes-Barre, which is a really nice pet shop, and there's almost like a zoo. They let you come and just look at the animals. And I heard about this place, and I'd seen some videos on YouTube about it. So I said, next time we're here with the family, let's go check out this place, That Pet Place, That Fish Place, That Pet Place. So maybe we'll make some videos there. And then after that, our good friend Mr. Lobo is having a show, and maybe we'll do some videos.